guys, what's up? How are you? I hope that you guys are having an amazing day today. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you are new here, hi, my name is Jarrell, and in today's video we're going to be trying on and playing with a new palette from Fenty Beauty, and it's this one right here. I actually want to try it on the eyes and on the face just because this is called the Stalk'R Face and Eye Bronzer Highlighter Palette, and I got mine at Sephora. This is how the bag looks like right here. Haven't even opened it, so I'm hoping that it's not broken or anything like that. So let's go ahead and open it together. Just so you guys know, this retails for $48, and here is the palette. Let's go ahead and open it up. So here we have the shades, and this has a shelf life of 12 months, and it is made in the USA. I am going to be using this one for the eyes as well. I did do a whole entire review on the eyeshadow palette as well as the highlighting face that she came out with a couple of months ago, but unfortunately I had to return those because they were just not good. I never saw myself reaching for those, even though I love Fenty Beauty and so many other products that she has on her line. Those two were just not a good go for me, so I was not going to keep it in my collection just because it's sort of no purpose whatsoever. But if you guys are interested in seeing how this one actually works on the eyes and on the face, let's go ahead and get into the video. But before we do, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. And without further ado, let's get on to the video. So I went ahead and used my P. Louise base to prime my eyes, and I brought you in a little closer as you can see. So I am going to start with this shade right here. This one seems to be a little bit too cool, so I am going to start with this one right here, which is called Private Island, and I think that that's the bronzer that I actually regularly use. Using the Refer 15 brush, I'm just adding the color in the outer corner, and I'm bringing it up to my crease and also in. That is just the shape that we are going with. It's definitely going to be something like blown out, and I'm going to try to use as many colors as I can. So this is going to be like my transition shade. I'm using Caramel Cutie with the same brush just to intensify it a little bit. I'm going to stay a little bit lower than the previous shade, and again in the outer corner and on the crease, just creating that depth. I love the idea of this palette right here, especially if you're going to be traveling, just because you have everything that you need to bronze up your face. And if you are into neutrals and warm tones like caramel kind of tones, then this palette is definitely going to be for you on the eyes as well. Or maybe you can just bring like a colorful palette along. So I love the idea, but is this like brand new information to us? Like so friends right here. Is this brand new information? Of course not. We already know that we can use bronzers on our eyes, so this is definitely not new for us, but or maybe it is for you, but you know, we already know that we can definitely use our bronzers on our eyes. So I am noticing for sure that I do have to build them up just to get the pigmentation that I want. So it is taking me a little bit longer than it would with other palettes, like for example Natasha Denona. So just wanted to give you guys that little detail just in case. Right now, going in with a smaller brush, and this one is the Refer 13, and I'm going to take Cocoa Naughty, and I'm going to just focus that in the outer corner and bringing it in a little bit more, and just adding that on the crease a little bit. This one does have a little bit more warmth to it, more redness to it. All right, so I am going to use this shade right here. You know what, let me swatch the highlighters. All right, so here we have the highlighters. This one is Fat Glass, and this one is Gold Card. The highlighters are definitely going to work like highlighters on your cheeks, but I just don't feel like they aren't like oomph enough for the eyes. They're very soft, very delicate. So I am going to add Gold Card to the lid. And I am going to leave a little space in the inner corner to add the champagne shade, which is Fat Glass. All right, so I'm going to take Fat Glass right now with a, ooh, they are super soft. I just kind of dig my brush into it and made a hole. So just be careful when you are adding this shade to your brush, because I just made a hole in the eyeshadow pan. So just adding that in the inner corner and just sweeping it up. Taking Coconutty again. I think I called it Cocoa Nutty. Making sure that everything is nice and blended. All right, now I'm going to take this shade right here and just create a little small wing. See how pigmented it is. This one has like a little purpley tone to it, which is pretty interesting. So I want to see if it's going to show up. It is showing up. It's just not as deep as I would like it, but it is showing up. And this one right here is called Thick Mint. So again, just creating that half a wing. All right, guys, so this is what we have so far on the eyes. Let's go ahead and just move on to the rest of the face. I am going to be using this brow pencil from Fenty, and this is called the Brow MVP, and I do have mine in the shade Black Brown. So I am going to comb my brows. I remember really enjoying this brow pencil. It has been a little while since I used it, so I'm hoping that still has pigmentation, which it does. Great. I really do like the formula. I forgot how nice and super easy it is to just create those brows, so really like it. All right, so I am going to be using their primer, which is just a regular primer, the original one. Right, moving on to the base, which is the Easy Drop in shade 11. So I am going to be using these two right here, which are the Bright Fix, and I am going to use the peach one and the butter one. Peach one to correct the darkness underneath my eyes, and butter to just give it a little bit more brightness. Oop, too much. And I absolutely love these ones right here, especially when I am wearing a skin tint. They're just so easy. I don't mind if it doesn't give me like full coverage. That's okay, because sometimes it's okay if I don't have full coverage. All right, so I am going to use a butter now to just add a little bit of brightness. I'm going to put it in the back of my hand just to have a little bit of control. I'm going to pat it in place very gently. All right, so I usually go for this one right here, which is the Matchstick in Mocha. I absolutely love it. It's just so perfect. But I need to give a little bit of love to this one right here, which is in the shade Macchiato. And this is how it looks like. I mean, I do use it, but I usually just use this one instead, just because I like it so much more. Like the tone, it's a little bit more for me. This one, it's definitely a little bit too light and maybe just a little too warm. This one, it gives me like super contour cheeks. So using the Fenty powder in Banana. Love this powder. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and bronze our face, and I am going to start with Private Island. So here we have one side with Private Island and the palette and nothing, just the cream bronzer. So let's go ahead and add Private Island now. I'm using a little bit of Cocoa Nutty. And I'm going to use Cocoa Nutty and a pencil brush, and I'm just going to run it on our lower lashes just to give it a little bit of smoke. All right, so now using Fuego Flush to add a little bit of more bronziness to our skin. It's definitely not going to add a lot of color, I don't think. So it just added glitter to my cheeks. What a mess. I still need a little like something to pop, so I am going to add this one right on top, which is called Petal Popping. Let's see if we can get a little bit of color. Okay, so yeah, that is definitely adding a little bit of more color, just a little bit. Right, so I am going to be adding in this lip gloss right here. Let me just line my lips. I'm going to line my lips. I don't have a lip liner from Fenty Beauty. Do they even have one? I don't know. I will link all the products that I'm using down below in the description area, just in case you guys are interested. I absolutely love the lip glosses from Fenty Beauty, the cream versions, the heat versions, or just the regular Gloss Bomb. This one is the cream in the shade Honey Waffles. All right, guys, so I am going to add a little bit of mascara on my top lashes, and I'll be right back so I can share with you my final thoughts. All right, guys, so here is the final look using the palette for the eyes and the face. You guys saw the whole entire process, and yeah, so here is the look. I think that I look really bronzy, which I really do enjoy. And my final thoughts, even though I absolutely love the way that this eye turned out, and I do feel the skin right now is like really nice and bronzy, and it's just giving me spring and summer vibes and vacation vibes. Really, I really like the way that everything looks right now, but I personally 100% do not recommend this palette whatsoever. The quality for eyeshadows is there. You do have to build them up, like I mentioned several times in the video. You do have to build them up, and it does take a little while to really get the pigmentation on your eyes. Besides that, it's just nothing special. There is nothing special about this palette. If you already have a bronzer from Fenty Beauty, then you do not need this palette whatsoever. The quality is there, okay, is there because you saw it, but it's just nothing special. I do not recommend it. If you already have a favorite bronzer, please do not get this palette. If you already have an eyeshadow palette or an eye and face palette that you already love, do not get this one, because it's not going to be something that is going to blow your mind. It did not blow my mind. Now, if you are looking into something a little bit more softer, less shimmery, more subtle, more like work appropriate, I will call it, still more on the bronzy side, then yeah, you can definitely give this palette a go. But if you already have the Charlotte Tilbury face palette, like this one's right here, then stick to this one. You have so much. I know the price, it is completely different. This one is like, I think $75, and the palette from Fenty Beauty is $48, but I do not see myself reaching for this palette like ever again, because I already have individual bronzers, but I wanted to test it out for you guys. I wanted to really like test it out on the eyes and on the face and give you guys an honest opinion. But once again, if you have something like this from Charlotte Tilbury, then please do not get this palette at all. If you are in the market for an eye and face palette and you want something that it's a little bit more compacted, then I would suggest for you to look into the Natasha Denona. This palette right here is the dark version, and I absolutely love it. This is what I'm talking about in regards of the metallic shades. Like, this is what I want. If you're going to promote it as an eye and face palette, then give us something that we are going to be looking forward to using. Like these shades right here from the Natasha Denona palette are just amazing, super beautiful on the eyes, and it does make sense. You do have a highlighter and a blush, maybe not a bronzer, but oh my goodness, so many good stuff in this palette for sure. And if you are more on the lighter complexion, then you can definitely look into this one as well. It has a cream and blush that blends like a dream, and again a highlighter, and all of these shades. These ones right here are just perfection. I mean, they are just blinding. But once again, that is just my liking of eyeshadows. These are just gorgeous. These ones right here from the Fenty Beauty are just not it for me. Like, look at that. It's just not it for me. It's not, look, I mean, look at the Fenty, look at the Natasha Denona ones, are just not it for me. And I know that they're supposed to be like that soft because you want to add it to your cheeks, which, by the way, I didn't even add the highlighter. I'm going to add a little bit of the highlighter right here to the highest points of my cheeks. And yeah, I mean, you don't want it to be like super blinding, but no, I'm sorry, but no, this is just not going to work out for me. This is not something that I'm going to be reaching for. It's just not something that I am really like super excited to have in my collection. It's just not going to work out for me. I don't see myself using it. And this highlighter right here, it is going to work for me, but the other one is definitely going to be for the eyes, which is the shade that I have right here on my lid, because that is just way too deep for me to use it as a highlighter. But even though on the eyes it's just not bringing me that effect, there's nothing special, like I said. So those are just my honest thoughts on this palette. It's just not for me. I don't recommend it. You can find so much better out there for sure. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's it. Let me like switch to positive now. Thank you so much for being here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you next time. Bye.